Can y'all hear me? Can you ladies hear me? Okay. Hey Rosalind, hey Sabby, hey Kathy B, hey the discussion board, Nita, hey Tabby, hey Deborah Chana, hey Kathy B, hey Lolita, hey Rosalind, hey Pamela, hey Pamela, hey K Brown. Thank you, TT, for the super sticker. Super chat, I'm sorry. I gotta learn the difference in the two, but thank you. Hey Robin. Hey Becca Cry. Hey Serenity Speaks. What y'all been doing on this beautiful Saturday? It's evening now. Well, what did y'all do all day? Y'all had a relaxing day, or did some of you have to work? Hey, Tyrese with the T. I know most of you just left Amber's live. Hey, Blessed Beyond Measure. Hey, Linda in Florida. If y'all seen my thumbnail, then you know what my live's about. It's the title of my thumbnail is Scorned or Scared. Hey, Ruby Dixon. Scorned or Scared. If y'all notice a pattern in women coming forward now after things don't go their way in a relationship and they are claiming abuse, but we never heard anything of the abuse as long as things were good in the relationship. um oh, you just chilling. While everything in the relationship is good, you don't hear anything. But when these men start dating somebody else, or you look and you see a lot of the scorn behavior come out, um or when they don't get their way, or when the man gets rid of them, they want to come forward now and claim abuse had that they never claimed before. Now Cassie, her situation is different, but I think hers, she came forward with that lawsuit mainly because she was scorned. And I'll tell you all why I say that in a little bit. Hey, Special K, Nina, Giselle. Let's see who else I missed. But I think that that relationship with Young Miami played a big part in her trying to sue Diddy, because her lawsuit is what led to Diddy and these charges that he has. Don't get me wrong, I believe Diddy is just a bit of a monster as they say that he is. However, Cassie was a willing participant, I believe. And some of this testimony that came out shows that she was a willing participant. And what I don't like is how grown behind people take part in everything that's wrong, and then when it all comes out, they want to say they were forced or coerced. And I don't believe that because like they got this trafficking charge on him and they saying that because all these people were coming to the parties, these grown behind people were catching planes to go to that party. They knew they knew that what was going on at these parties, but they were willing participants catching flights from one coast to the next to attend these parties. And I think all of that stems from them being greedy, wanting to be about around celebrities and clout chasing. I might have an unpopular opinion when that comes to that, but I cannot say that I can't say that I believe that okay, like I say, I believe that he is dead to his right about being a freak. I can say that he's a drug addict. He was a drug addict. But with these grown behind women and grown behind men that's now testifying against him, like he had a gun to their head and made them do these things. I think yes, he can. They can get him for being a freak, and that's not against the law. And maybe I believe those people knew what was going on with the baby all, and they still went back over and over and over to those parties in Hollywood. Those things about his party was not a secret. And those people would be on film saying ain't no party like a Diddy party. So they enjoyed that. And then they was like, you had some that say you don't go to the after party, and you said some went to the they had some that went to the after party. So that was a thing in Hollywood, his parties, and everybody knew what was going on. And like I say, they were willing participants. I remember watching the Kardashians one day, the Kardashian show, and they had gone to a Diddy party, and Chloe and what's the big one name, the tall one, Chloe and Courtney was saying they had gone to a Diddy party, and when they looked around, everybody was naked. And it was asked that they leave. They said no. They just stayed and act like they didn't see it. What would make you want to stay to a party where everybody's naked? If I'm at a party and I'm seeing everybody getting out their clothes, I'm going to the first exit because I know this is not the party I want to be a part of and I don't want to attend. So um that's what I Hey Latte, Roslyn, Sapphire Gold, Special K. But I'm gonna touch on that a little bit in this live. I'm gonna touch on Royce Reed. I'm not gonna say too much about Briana because we know Briana's scorned. But I'm gonna talk about that thumbnail. Let me see, can I pull it up? Give me just a second. The reason behind the thumbnail. Um, and then I want to talk about that other young lady that's got people in their feelings about her, and that's the what her name, Halle. That young lady Halle. I cannot get this thumbnail. This thumbnail. If you see, the meaning behind it is that these people are not who they portray to be. And if you see their regular face, I see the distorted face, and it's titled "What's Behind the Smile." Um, Brianna is the only one out the group that has on a mask. And thank you, Tabby, for the super chat. She's the only one that has on a mask, not because she's like on the level with these women, but she wants to be on the level with these other women, but she's not. However, she is just as scorned and just as Hey, Lila. She's just as scorned and just as manipulative as these women. Darn it. Let me turn my phone. Excuse me, y'all. Get my phone turned off. And then I'm thinking that Tabby did a live last night on the other young lady. Thank you again, Tabby. Tabby did a live on this other young lady, Chloe. And I'm thinking that people jumping the gun on this one because you see a picture, but we do know that pictures can be manipulated. Hey, Miss White, pictures can be manipulated and pictures are not always what they seem, and we should know that. I think the reason people want to believe her or jumping on her side is because of that little sweet persona she has. A lot of people still remembering the little girl that used to be on YouTube singing with her sister. A lot of people, when they see her, they see is it the Little Mermaid? The Little Mermaid. But Tabby played some videos last night of her, and she was saying some damning things that made her not look so innocent. Do I think Diddy is a violent freak who repeatedly laid hands on Cassie? Yep, exactly. But a rapist, a sex trafficker? No, he did not coerce them. That's what I'm saying. They were willing participants, and he's not the only one. And when it boils down to it, a lot of names are going to come up. A lot of names are going to come up. Um, I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a minute. But I'm gonna I was looking when this stuff first came out about DDG. I was looking on the internet and I saw this, and it's a video of where he was with his friend when he first heard about her taking out these charges on him. And his reaction, I just don't think it was a fake reaction. I think this was his real reaction to it. Um, Let me know if you all can hear this.
Cool. I'm post that. Chat, rate the fit, man. I feel like, damn, bro. Should I get a stylist? Why are they saying GGTMZ? Let's see. Why are they saying GGTMZ? All right, I'm looking at her story now. What? Fuck all that. Fuck all. Don't even.
That can't even be real.
Fuck all that, bro. Fuck all that.
But that can't even be real. That's the thing.
But don't even. But you remember we talked about last night? Fuck all that. Let me say something. It's not.
No, I'm saying, but I don't know where that even came from.
Yo, stop these fake allegations. This is a father. This is a real person. It's a good human being. But hey, bro, we on stream, bro.
Like, it could have
Just
been
don't, bro. Come here.
Don't even make no.
Fuck all that. Friend. I can do false shit to lot. He's and we're gonna respect him. WD. Got anything to say?
Fuck the fake narrative. Bull white ass shit.
Do you want your videos to look like this?
Okay. His reaction, I don't think was forced. and I don't think that his reaction was fake. I think that there we go. That's why I didn't talk on Tabby's live last night. This darn call. Excuse me, y'all. Hey Amber. Hey Miss Lasonder. Let me see who else came in here. Miss E. Latte. How y'all doing? I don't think his reaction was coerced. I think that he was caught off guard with with him hearing that she had taken these charges against him. And I'm not gonna say he did anything. I'm not gonna say he didn't do anything. I'm just not gonna jump the gun on what he did, and I'm not gonna let a little pretty soft face fool me because a lot of people still hoodwinked about another situation we are very familiar with, and I'm not just gonna jump on the gun like that and start dragging this man because of hearsay, uh, and, and because it's a baby involved in that, um, and also because of the video she said, and she said she would be the manipulative type if she needed to be. In other words, that's what she was saying. She didn't say those exact words, but the things that she was saying in that video, she was saying, I'll be manipulative if I need to be. I'll cook you dinner. I'll put on some nice clothes, and I would put put pour the dinner on you. Um. Anyway, she pretty face manipulative. I don't know what reason she's being like that with him. Um, but for her to put those charges on, when you start talking about restraining orders and all of that, it means that you're afraid. You're afraid of that person. They say that yeah, he went. They say he went in the house. The ring camera caught him in the house. Um, but I do believe that she was attacking him. I believe she had that in her. When women get mad, they will. Some women will hit a man. I wouldn't because I don't want nobody. You cannot control anybody's reaction, and I wouldn't want no man hitting me, so I wouldn't hit no man. However, you have some women that don't think that way, and they feel like because they are women, men just gonna naturally go by that code and not put their hands back on them. But I I just don't see that in him. I can be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I will come back later and apologize. But I'm not jumping the gun and jumping on his side on the hate DDG bandwagon until more evidence come out. It's too early to tell. It's just an accusation right now. Like I said, pictures can be. Hey, Snooky, pictures can be manipulated, and I'm just not. I'm not gonna do that. I think that she's upset because she wants to take that baby out of the country and he's not allowing it or he's fighting against it. And I think that she's angry about that. So she's gonna do what she has to do to take that baby with her. I'm not gonna stay on that one too long because I don't know a lot of the a lot has not come out about that yet. Nobody heard that he was allegedly beating on her until here recently. And it's her word against his word. So I'm not gonna. It's not enough that's out there yet, and I'm not gonna speak on that too much. I am gonna talk about little this little woman here. Excuse me. I am gonna talk about this one though. We all familiar with her. She been all over YouTube trying to get clout off of a situation, especially after the baby daddy said he was engaged. She doubled down on him. And you all know I'm talking about Royce Reed. She was all on Callie's lives and she came forward just trying to drag him, especially after this news article came out. Okay. Oh man, I can't make this any bigger. Dwight Howard is engaged to rapper Amy Luciani. Thankfully, happy and ready for everything that's coming our way. Thankful, happy came out. That's when Royce started doing these video series on Instagram. I think it was Instagram, and started dogging him out, talking about all these gay escapades. And I honestly believe that she was scorned. She was not scarred. She came out telling he ended up having to get a restraining order against her. Right, my 2 cents. I'm definitely not joining in with the simps that want to attack DG either. No, they didn't learn anything. A lot of people jumped on Brianna's bandwagon with that mess, and you see where it got them. I'll play this one. Give me a second, y'all. But everybody, if y'all remember Royce Reed, she has been looking for clout. She was looking for clout when she went on Basketball Wives, and Dwight would not let her mention his name. And then I have done it, laugh out loud. I was in HS, but I did it. I've learned a valuable lesson because dude hit me back and it was painful. I've never done it again. Lesson learned. Keep my hands to myself. Exactly. But you got some women, they like that. They like the back and forth and they like the battle of man. Like even in the Cassie trial, she said she used to start fights with Diddy. She would um like start physical fights with him. And my thing was when I heard that, well, what the hell you doing in court? What the hell you trying to sue him for? He would have been better off letting it go to court instead of trying to buy her silence because that just opened up a can of worms for him. I'm coming, y'all. I thought I closed that one out. But she started going live and showing all these type of doing these little interviews and making look
Earlier in the conversation, I asked you, did you feel that Dwight was gay or bisexual? And you said, well, he liked some freaky stuff, but, you know, he never brought a man home or a trans home or anything else like that. So what have you been saying that made you?
You didn't ask me about that. You asked me
So
before.
what happened during quarantine then?
There were a lot of parties, and we're supposed to be on quarantine. So that was an issue in itself because who are these people? Why are they here? You know, have they been tested? You're saying the world is ending, but yet you're inviting the world over. And it was all types of people. Every pronoun was there. And I was beyond like, I was shocked because I had actually gone to sleep. I had taken a nap. I woke up and it was like the sun had just started going down. Like you can even see like the little fireflies. And I walk out and I felt like I was in an episode of something because it's people throwing up over the balcony. Like you got others cursing each other out, calling each other bitches. And then I'm sitting here first thing after seeing this is, where's my child? So I walk in the house. I see him even before I walk in the house. What's wrong? Where's Braylon? I don't know. He's somewhere. Seriously? So I walk in the house and that's when I see all the paraphernalia on the table, some with peanut butter. And I lose it. And then there's a girl who just peed in a seat. And then like, I don't even know if Kitty was there. I might have met Kitty. I don't know. I met a lot while I was there. And I just went upstairs and I found Braylon, and he was in like this room connected to his room with a TV. And I'm like, hey, hi, mommy. I'm like, you okay? He was like, yeah. And I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. And I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. And I had to keep asking him. And then he finally told me that he went downstairs to get something to eat. He wanted a snack. And I remember grabbing him and being like, did you take anything off that table? And he swore no. But I asked him so many times because I needed it to be reiterated like so many times to me. And he just swore no. And then he asked what it was. And then he was like, he wanted some peanut butter.
So anyway, she was another one. Because this man decided he was going to get married, she came out and started making all these type allegations against her. She started talking about he abused her. She came out lying. So all of these women, when things don't go their way, the first thing they want to do is paint these men out to be monsters. When everything is good, their mom's a word. But the first time things do not go the way in their minds they want it to go, they put on a whole different their outlook of the guy changes, and they expect everybody to change with them. Hey, Upper. I didn't want to bring them back up, but they set the premise for what this live is going to be about, and that's talking about are these women scared when they're with the guys, or they're scorned after the guys start trying to move on. I'm gonna drop the link for whoever wants to come up. I want to have a in-depth conversation about this because you see it happening more and more. You see these women when they break up with these men, the first thing they try to do is they try to destroy the characters of these men. I'm not, like I say, I am not by any means saying Diddy is innocent of anything. Diddy is a demon. However, these people knew Diddy was a demon when they were staying up under him. I'm going to go and I'm going to pull up some of the transcript from this trial. And like I said, I don't think that he's innocent. But her testimony to me, it did not show, it did not show that she was afraid of this afraid young lady. And then the young lady that testified against him yesterday, Don Richards, whatever. I remember when they had this group making the band, from making the band called Danny the King. Hey, A Stokes, they had this group called Danny the King from making the band. A lot of stuff was shown on TV, a lot wasn't. But I remember that the girl that was in the group from Atlanta, what was her name? It was Don Richards. It was Aubrey O'Day. The one from Atlanta, I cannot remember her name. But when he gave her the option. He fired the girl. He fired the one girl, and she left. And so he gave D. What's her name? D Woods. Yeah, he gave D Woods the option to stay or leave. She left. And she later said that it was a lot that we don't see that goes on that she didn't like. And I believe that was some of the stuff that they were talking about behind the scenes, because you have been hearing little stuff about Diddy and his underbelly ways even then. So she was saying there was a lot of stuff that she did not like about the industry, and she could not take part of it anymore. But out of everything, when he dismantled that group, he kept Don. And I think that he kept Dawn because she was a willing participant in everything that was going on. And she was career focused and she wanted to get ahead. He ended up starting a group with Dawn and this other girl, Diddy Dirty Money. So he kept her around for 7 years. And when he dismantled that group, I think that she got upset. A lot of them, he said they didn't get their monies and this, that, and the other. But she was there to witness a lot of stuff. And my thing is, you didn't speak out on it when it was happening because it was in your best benefit in helping your career not to talk about it. But now that Cassie's come out about it, now you want to jump on the bandwagon and be in the Me Too movement. Well, if he did this to you too, why weren't you the first to come forward with it when it happened? I used to like them too. I used to love Danity Kane. They had some nice music too. She said, I really did like Danity Kane. I think they could have been right up there with Danity. They didn't dismantle this. Yeah, because of their choices. But when they had that meeting, let me see, can I find that video? When they had that meeting, he ended up firing Aubrey. And the rest of them left. He ended up here you go.
Relationship. And it's really just time for some real talk. We got to figure out what the future of the group is.
Everyone has something to say.
I just want to be in a group. Like, that's it. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to be, an actress. Like, this was my dream. If everyone's not wanting to do that, then why stay in it?
You cannot have 5 women getting on stage every night, moving forward with a career when there is a lack of trust within each other.
We had a show with us for, and Aubrey didn't come because she had to do her obligation in Broadway. When we have a show coming up and maybe Dee has an obligation or maybe Drea has an obligation, when Drea said she wanted to quit, it was going to be us going playing an audition. To me, that's up. Your business.
I think that we just need to refocus.
And the divisions in the group have become apparent to Diddy.
The vision that I had for the group, this ain't the vision that I'm on. I don't like her energy. I don't like her style and direction where she's going with it. I don't like what she does to the brand when she's wilding out there, being overly raunchy, promiscuous.
I'm not meaning.
So I don't want you in the group no more. Anybody else that want to go with her could go with her. Would you like to go with her? Would you like to think about it? You wanted to get out of the group. You have a chance right now to leave with her. You here, right? Yeah, because she was part of the problem of the group for you.
No,
yes,
that's not. I really just, for me, I don't think that there's not a group without 5 of us.
Okay. Based on a lot of things that I've heard, you're not really a happy camper in this situation.
No, I don't think anyone has been happy for a long time in this situation.
Okay, so you could go too.
And with that, it was over.
I love you, Aubrey.
And Danity Kane will rarely appear together again.
Okay, so after that, Lolita, I remember all of that. But Dawn was doing interviews. She was doing interviews after that. Not Dawn, the other one, D Woods. She was doing interviews after that, and she later stated that they did that for television, but they really wanted to leave the group. He dismantled the group, and he wanted to keep 3 of them. And she said they already knew that he was going to leave them, but they did that for television or something. But either way, Dawn was the only one that ended up staying. And I think it was because of her ambition and her wanting to be a big star. And yes, she did write a lot of the songs, and the songs were good. And I'm thinking that that's why she stayed on, because of her ambition. And as long as it was beneficial for her, she kept her mouth closed, just like the rest of them. And I'm gonna tell you the truth of what I think about Cassie. This might, like I said, my opinions, unpopular opinions, but I do critical thinking. And I was on the phone with my girls the other day, and it was said that because Diddy bought he was with this little young girl, Young Miami. He was flaunting her around. He was doing everything for her. Gave her a $500,000 a month allowance. Gave her own show on his Revolt TV. And I believe Cassie got jealous of that. Cassie said on the oath that she was jealous. She did claim. They said she was jealous of Kim. She was jealous of Sarah. She was jealous of Jenny. She was just jealous of other women with him. And I believe that she felt some kind of way because she was with him for all those years and left there with nothing. And there he was with this new young girl and with this little new young girl. And he's showering her, giving her all this money a month to live on, got her own TV show. And it was like one of these things, the light bulb went off. Okay, I was with him all these years. I didn't get half of that. I don't have nothing to show for it. So that's where I think the lawsuit stemmed from. I might be wrong, but I think it was a jealousy thing of how he's treating this little young girl and then how he treated her. And she was a young girl. It was a difference. There's no telling what all that young girl was going through and seeing as well. And it was no telling what all she was putting up with. The cost of fame will make people lose all of their morals trying to be famous. It will make them turn a blind eye to a lot of things, and a lot of them have done it. If you all remember Field Mob do y'all remember the group Field Mob? They were rappers from Albany, Georgia. They like to say ATL. One of them is Sierra's cousin, Smoke, the dark one. Anyway, they got in the industry. Thank you, Shanta, for the super sticker. They got in the industry, right? And when they got in the industry, the younger one, Sean J. Sean J went crazy. He started drinking. He got on drugs so bad. And Ludacris ended up signing them. After Ludacris signed them, they straightened up a little bit. But then the circle they was around and the people they were around, the drugs, the party, and the stuff that they were seeing, Sean J is not right in the head to this day. And he does a little underground rapping now. And he raps about stuff he's seeing in the industry. And hey, Amelia, that's me. He raps about things that he's seeing in the industry. And he talks about how dark and evil it is. And he talks about all the orgies they have in front of everybody. He talked about, everybody talks about the Illuminati, but he talks about that. He says real. And Smoke was on another show, a dating show where he was supposed to be getting married. But he talks about it a little bit, but not to the extent to where Sean J talks about it. And Sean J, he don't even look the same. He looked like he's like in his 60s. He's in his late 30s. The industry just beat him down. The stuff that he witnessed, he went kind of cuckoo. And a lot of them be seeing stuff. And a lot of them would do anything for fame. And then they be witnessing all this evil. Some will walk away. And then some will just stay indulging in it, seeking to become superstars. And that's what I think Cassie did. She did it, and when she realized it was not going to happen, she tried to she walked away. But I think it was a lot of resentment there after she walked away, because she still see he's out here with all these women. And I think Young Miami was the one that did it for her, to where she said, okay, I'm gonna use this to my advantage. It may be an unpopular opinion, but that's how I feel. I don't feel like I just don't feel like she's a victim. I think that she was a willing participant, and even in her testimony, she was saying that she initiated. She would text him and tell him she wanted to have what they call in the freak off. She was text, hey, hey, chosen. She was saying that she wanted to participate in the freak off. I want an all girl freak off. She was not being forced. She got into that lifestyle and she was enjoying it. Like she said that she said that he raped her. Okay. She said that's why when after she broke up, he raped her and that's what made her leave him alone. Okay, if he raped you, why did you go back to him and then after you got married and had sex with him? It's not making sense. You had left, you had gotten away, but you went back to this alpha man that made you and forced you to do all of this. You still went back and you were still messing around with him on your husband. She said this under oath. So, like I said, I don't think she's a victim. What she went through was horrible, yes, but she was a willing participant. It was a lot of. Have you ever seen that movie, Tale of Two Floors? That movie so disturbing. They so odd. I didn't. You're gonna make me look it up and watch it tonight, though. But yeah, she was a willing participant. She was actually in the picture. She was actually in the picture when Kim passed. She actually came in the picture in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. It was in it 11 years, and 11 years, and Kim died in 18, I think. Was she cheat? Was she cheat? Yeah, it's in the. I was looking at. You can go to Media Takeout. Each day they got the transcript, and then it's a man on Inner City Press on Twitter. They have the transcripts of the thing, and yes, she cheated on her husband with Diddy. After the fact, and even after she claimed that he SA'd her, and she admitted that she was the jealous type. She admitted that she started fights with him. She admitted that she initiated some of the freak offs. She admitted all this stuff under oath. And one of the lawyers asked her, he said, weren't you getting ready to go on tour before the lawsuit? No, they asked her, was she from modest living? Or did she live in a mansion growing up? She said she was in a modest home. And then they asked her, wasn't she getting ready to go on tour before she filed the lawsuit? You know, the lawsuit was, he settled it in like one day. She got $20 million. She filed the papers, they served it, he settled it in one day. And she was like, yes, I was getting ready to go on a tour. And then the lawyer came back and said, well, did you go on the tour? She said no. And the lawyer's like, why? Because you had gotten $20 million. And she dropped her head and said, that's not the reason, real low. I understand that lovely one. I remember her being around to so-called help him after Kim's passing. Exactly. Hey, Pratt. Neither she stayed in contact with Diddy when he was dating. She cheated with Diddy. Yes, she did. I know who was that said abuse can be complex. It can be, but once you're away from your abuser, why go back? I know they want to say Stockholm syndrome and all that, but I've never been abused, so I can't say. But I do know that she I don't know. I'm gonna stand by what I say. She was not innocent and all that. And yes, Diddy is guilty of being a freak, but you had all these people flying to these parties for the drugs and the sex, and they were just wanting to be around celebrities. They were wanting to be a part of that lifestyle. And I just don't think that because um, they were willing, I don't think that Rico thing should wash. I'm hoping his I'm not gonna say I'm hoping because I hope he gets punished because he didn't have to beat on her like he did. Um that video was very disturbing of him kicking her, and she did say that when they used to have it, he would kick her in the head. He would kick her when she down. He would kick her in the head and stuff. And but yeah, he abused her. I honestly believe he abused her, but forced her to do that. She said because he had control of her career. I would not want to be a singer or in entertainment that bad to where I would be forced to do no mess like that. I would never want to do nothing. People are so high gung ho on being celebrities or being the clout, quote unquote. So they don't give a damn about their morals. They don't give a damn about nothing. It's all about being adored by many people, about millions of people. And you never know what people are going through behind the scenes. They put on one face in the public, but behind the scenes, they go through living hell to have this persona. And I wouldn't do that to live a fake existence just to put on a persona to millions of people. I'll go get a 9 to 5 before I would put up with that. But you got so many people that's so stuck on wanting to be a star that they will do anything for it. And she was one of those that unfortunately do anything for it. Hey, Shanta. She said Stockholm as she was completely away from. Exactly. Exactly. I read somebody said that in a chat about Stockholm syndrome. That's why I mentioned that. Say that Stockholm syndrome, people always go back to their abuser, but I don't believe that. Because you had gotten away, you was married, you had gone through, she said she had gotten therapy and all that. So I just don't believe that. What you saw, Lolita? Ain't nobody putting bodily fluids on me. I would stay broke. No, exactly. Exactly. Lolita, put in the chat what you saw, baby. Lolita, you still here? Oh, yeah. Exactly. I don't believe that. It's gonna be. You have some people that was there and witnessed the whole thing. Like I watched this lady named Tisa Tales. I watch her mom Riggins, and they have like different perspectives of how it went in court. Then you have some people saying that they believe that did his lawyers did a good job crossing her up. They're saying that the testimony that Don Richards did cannot be included because Cassie did not testify to the alleged altercation that Don Richards was talking about she witnessed. It was not brought up in trial, so they're saying that it can be thrown. They fighting to get that thrown out because Cassie did not mention that, whatever Don was speaking of. So we'll see how that goes. She can be responsible for what she did, and that doesn't mean she should bear the brunt. Oh yeah, has to be held. Yeah, yep. But I still say, lovely one, and that's not taken away from what he did to her. She chose to stay in spite of. She chose to stay. She didn't have any ties to him. She didn't have any children with him. she could have been the one that got away and went on with her life, but she chose to stay in spite of. The Cassie did not cheat while she was married. They were newly dating at the time. I did see where they did say so you that she was with him and then she went back and started and she went back to Diddy and was sleeping with Diddy after the so-called alleged sexual assault. But yeah, we'll see how this one turns out. Um she was supposed to be their star witness and the one that was gonna head off everything to set the standards for the actual rest of the trial. So we're gonna see how that goes because she did get caught up in a lot of stuff and she did admit to a lot of stuff. So I think by her own admitting she encouraged some of the freak offs and that she enjoyed sex and she enjoyed some of the freak offs. She said that I didn't. And I think a jury, they said when she was saying that, one of the jurors like leaned up and looked down and wrote down notes. So we'll see what happens. They say when Diddy got caught, y'all, he had 9 bottles of baby oil and 10 bottles of baby oil and 9 bottles of $9,000 on him. He knew he was getting ready to meet with the FBI. Why would he have that much baby oil and cash on him when he went to New York to turn himself in? I'm just saying. Y'all give me 1 second. I dropped the link for anybody that want to come up. Give me 1 second. I got to take this. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Hey, Nita. Hey, LaRonda. Yeah, but they say that Don is supposed to finish. I think they through with Cassie. However, they said they may call her back to testify about the incident that Don talked about. In order so Don's testimony won't be thrown out. Hey, Danny. Yeah, I'm sorry, my sinus is bothering me and my nose is running. Tim had a recording, didn't make it. Tim had a recording, didn't make it. Yeah, I read that, and I heard that they're trying to include that in the case, but I don't think that they can include that if they didn't charge them with it. So the judge will not allow it to be it will be dismissed. Only the stuff that they, from what I understand, the only things that they have listed on his charges can be talked about, and not the rumors unless they got concrete evidence. But I've been hearing that. I don't think he's gonna get off. Y'all think he's gonna end up getting off for that? Hello? Y'all so quiet in the chat. Somebody talk to me. Ugh. I think he's the fall guy, let's say, being straight up. I think that they using him as a scapegoat is people bigger than him over this. If you all can remember, and I know we're not supposed to be talking about him, but if y'all can remember, he sued that company that was over the Ciroc brand and the liquor and the tequila. Shortly after he sued them and accused them of racism, Cassie came out with this. They was trying to say it was conspiracy. They got Cassie to do this and that. I don't know. But Cassie came out with the lawsuit. And then shortly after that, the Homeland Security. When have y'all ever heard of Homeland Security getting involved with legal matters and taking precedence over the FBI? And we never heard of any cases where Homeland Security investigated nobody except for like terroristic acts and stuff like that. Hey, Miss White. But I think when they say he's already talking, that's his ace in the hole. He gonna call names. Hey, Miss White. Miss White?
Hey, give me a minute. I gotta turn my back play off.
Okay. No, Lolita, you communicate with me, baby. Yeah, the big man never gets touched, and this is who I think it is, and been doing it for years. His other person died last year. Well, passed away last year, and that was QJ. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I heard that too. That he's holding one person's KK name over. He's holding. That's the pawn that he's trying to get to go to him to see if she can get that worked out. Because you know she's good about getting people pardoned.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Clive's gonna have to get his due date on the other side. He gonna have to get it on the other side. He won't see it in this life, but he will definitely see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna see it.
Yeah. Anita, I heard something about that Clive Davis is involved, but at this point, it's just rumors. So, what's your take on? Let me start back over. What's your take on the subject, scorn or scarred, with these women?
They're both. They're both.
I mean, scared, scorn and scared.
But the difference is, meaning these men that they're blaming more than likely has not scarred them. They have been scarred somewhere in life that makes them scorn, and they build this mechanism of finding a way to attack men like this in the legal system, or or in the public eye, or something like that, because they're both, they're scorned and they are scarred, but just they have misplaced blame. They need treatment, and they need a healing process, because see, everybody who gets treatment does not heal. they're just there. You know, you got to be willing to receive it. You can't go to treatment because your subscribers say you need to go to treatment, or you can't get treatment because a judge orders it. Because all you're going to do is go in there and sit down and listen and say the right things that you need to say for somebody to put on that pencil and paper that you're good now. They need some deep down soul searching. A lot of times, all these different cases that like you've put up, I hear certain things about them. I build my own judgment about them. I could be right, I could be wrong. But if I see some of these men being done unfairly, regardless to what I may have been thinking about them, the better side of me said, I still can't support that because you're doing them wrong. You're doing them wrong. I was one of the first ones in the different groups that I talked to that said, hey, if they're going to punish Diddy, they need to punish him for what he did. How is he being punished for being a freak? Like, I don't get that. Should he be charged for the other things? Absolutely. Absolutely. But y'all just, we as Black women, we have to learn to be better. We have to learn to do better. Because, see, we're those same women raising these little Black boys. Then we mad because they don't know how to act. We say, we don't need no man. I got this. I don't need no man telling me what to do. And then look. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm. So what y'all think, chat? Y'all agree with that? How many people you got in here that don't agree? But did you have some naysayers? Because I saw last night in Tabby's live, there was a consensus of people who was like, no, he did it, you know. So I was just wondering. Because I don't know if he did or didn't. I don't. But when you start trying to take the child away after numerous times of saying he's a good father, and now all of a sudden he ain't SHIT. Yeah. Okay.
If it was his bad father, though, why didn't it come up before she wanted to take the child out of town and he objected to that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like ulterior motive. Okay, he's going to fight me taking my child out the country, so I'm going to take away his right. I'm going to get it worse.
Sound like to me that she could probably not be a good mother. I heard she can't go 30 seconds without her child. Like it's a syndrome, and it's, you know, we call it the helicopter syndrome. That's bad, and it doesn't do good for the child.
It doesn't.
You better look up Gypsy Rose. So, yeah.
These conversations always hard to have being a woman, and then standing on the opposite side of the coin, because women automatically feel like because it's a woman, we instinctively supposed to take the side of a woman. But by me having two young men, I cannot just do that. I have to look objectively and look at all sides. I can't just say because she said it happened.
That's right. That's right. And see, I hear a lot of women say, I have boys. You know, I have boys too. But listen, me and my husband, we got 4 girls, 4 boys. So we have learned like to listen, watch, and learn. Because the same way I had little, you know, well, they're all grown, but the same way I had little boys, I had little girls. And you have to watch your children, be studious, pay attention, and learn before you make a decision.
Yeah.
And it's been times, you know how your child might be doing something wrong, right? Mm-hmm. And they're doing something wrong. Both children are doing something wrong, and then you try to get to the bottom of it. Who started it? He hit me first, but you blacked his eye. Oh yeah, you did. You'll say, well, just for that, I ain't giving you nothing, or I'm taking this because you did that. Although you're the one that got hit. you did something to provoke it and you take it away, and you be like, well, you ain't getting nothing either. And that's that's the eye that you have to have to look at situations. That's the eye that you have to look at these situations. Cause baby, look, I was one of those women. When I didn't get what I want, baby, it was gonna be a problem. Okay.
Hey, the Real Rap Show. Have you been going to the trial or you just been keeping up with it?
Who, me?
He said he's here from the Diddy trial. Hey, everybody, just stopping by.
So yeah, he does have trafficking charges, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he has 2 counts of trafficking, 2 counts of whatever the charges are. Just about all of them are 2 counts, with the exception of one of them, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the charges were. I'm trying to remember. I can't think, but I do remember it was like 2, and then it was 1 or something of that nature. And I took the time and I went and I said, well, let me go look and find out exactly what um, sex trafficking is. And I'm gonna pull it up again.
Cassie did not. Cassie didn't want Diddy prosecuted for physically abusing her. She wanted money, and I'm not even mad about that. If she wanted him prosecuted, she would have done it before the statute of limitations. Yeah.
Right, Lolita, that's what I said. Like, you got with this younger man who was still in Diddy's orbit. It was his personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
You married him. You had babies. Life ain't what it used to be, baby.
Yeah.
Y'all sitting back reminiscing, talking about the stories, and remember this and remember that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you sit back there with all that money. Girl, let's go get it. Okay, so sex trafficking says the action or practice of illegally transporting people from one country or area to another for the purpose of sexual exploitation. Okay.
He's charged with that, isn't he?
Hmm?
Isn't he charged with that?
Yeah, that's what he's charged with. So it says, so then I said, the key word in that was exploitation. So that made me go look up exploitation. I said, okay, the action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from their work.
Yeah. The Real Rap Show. I just went and subscribed to you. I'm gonna start looking at your coverage of the trial. But I just subscribed to you.
I did too. So then another word that would be close to the exploitation is taking advantage. You take advantage of someone. And to my understanding, what I have seen thus far, everybody was compensated in some way, form, or fashion. Whether it was to satisfy their sexual needs and desires, they got money, or they got drugs.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm like, well, dang, why Cassie not being charged too? Because
Yeah.
I remember I did a live months ago when this first happened, and I said, hey, where's Mary J and them at? Where are people at?
Exactly. The Real Rap Show. Did you actually go in to the courtroom or were you just outside of it? I see somebody got arrested. I actually watched your video last night because somebody got arrested. The one where the person is in handcuffs. I actually watched that last night. And thank you for the sub. Yeah, it was who asked the question about that.
Special case said that there's human trafficking and racketeering. I see sex trafficking, but I don't see human trafficking.
I saw that.
There's not no human trafficking. So I'm looking, it says racketeering conspiracy. This charge alleges that Combs ran a criminal enterprise using his business empire to facilitate sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Sex trafficking, 2 counts. Combs is accused of using force, fraud, and coercion to compel individuals into commercial sex acts.
Yeah.
Transportation to engage in prostitution, 2 counts. This involves transporting individuals across state lines with the intent that they engage in prostitution. And my question is, why is she testifying? Why?
Uh,
Why? Baby, you are very much complicit.
yeah, they are. They are. But a lot of people scared to have this conversation, especially a woman. A woman is scared to come. Women are afraid to come out and take a stance against the status quo because they're scared of being attacked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, because they're afraid of being attacked. But like I said, I just don't jump on a bandwagon, and I have a critical thinking ability, and um I just can't go along with the status quo if I feel some kind of way about it.
Yeah, I don't think, if you're doing wrong, then you have to pay the piper.
Yeah.
Like you gonna pay the piper. But I think the charges should fit the bill and all parties involved. Like how you just singling out one person. Back in the day with
They explained it. They explained it.
with OJ Simpson's trial, it said if the glove don't fit, you
You
must
must have
acquit.
quit.
So my thing was y'all make the right charges. Like y'all, because all of them, he'll probably be guilty. Some he may not be, but hmm, yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with you on that. But you said you wanted to know where Mary Jane, how they explained it when they was doing jury selection. This is the reason why none of these people are in this is because this is Cassie counts because she put these against him to say this is what happened with her because it's not a group. His parties is different from his sex parties with him and Cassie. Those were the people involved when they hired a prostitute or a male, escort or something. It was only
Right.
three. So the other people like the stars and stuff, the all white parties, this didn't take place. So that's why they separated that. But for as the racketeering, how they tied that in is when Cassie said he would fly her to wherever he is, when she wanted to come. But that's not even against the law. If you're willing to go to see your man or whoever you mess with, and he flying you, to this city or that city, I don't think that's a crime. Now, that racketeering, she tied in a hotel because really and truly, Cassie extorted both him and the hotel. She got 20 million from the hotel. She got 10 million she got 20 million from Diddy by holding that tape and saying she was going to release it. She was going to release that tape, that footage. She told them that he paid this hotel to keep from that tape coming out. So then here years later, she come back and told the hotel, I'm going to release this tape if you all don't pay. So they paid her last week. She
Yeah,
got
I
$10
mean,
million
and
from them
her and her
last
husband
week.
run off in La La Land now, never to have to worry
Yeah,
about a dollar another day in their life.
they
He was
so
this personal
that's
trainer.
so that's how they put it as racketeering because really they are blaming him because he paid for the tape to be sent to him, trying to protect her.
Right.
You
But
see what
she's
I'm
the only
saying?
one on the complaint, right? She's the
The
person
only
who
one.
gave all the information. She's the
Uh-huh.
one that put them on to him. She's the one who
Mm-hmm.
did all of this when she was very much a willing participant.
Mm-hmm.
Was
And
he
they didn't
right?
see that in the
Absolutely
part.
not. Was
He,
he was he
no,
wrong? Absolutely. For some, some of the things I heard, I saw the beating. You know, I seen it.
but you know
And
what?
we
He's not
really
even on it.
knew.
That's not. He's not being charged for that. That's what everybody's getting
No, I'm
wrong.
not confusing that. I'm not
No, I'm
confusing.
saying people. Yeah, I'm reading the chat, and a lot of
Mhm.
people are thinking just because he put his hand. Okay, this is what she's saying too. My two and Miss White and I are saying. Cassie is complicit in a lot of this because it was brought out just yesterday when she was on the stand. The guy that was in the room with them, it was her, Diddy, and the guy that the escort. The security guy got up there and testified. He said it was three guys, it was three people in that room. He got a phone call. The phone call said for him, it was Kim. Cassie got mad and started breaking stuff, throwing stuff at Diddy because he stopped the freak off between the three of them to leave. He went to take a shower. He jumped in the shower because Kim told him to come home. He was going to fly back to New York or LA, wherever he lived at that time. He was going to leave, and she got mad because he was leaving. Now, in the first opening day, when she first got up there to testify, she said she used to hit him and she used to do whatever because she was mad because he wouldn't make her first. She didn't want Kim around and she didn't want Gina around. She was mad because it's like I'm doing all this gutter stuff for you and you still won't make me number one. You won't put me first. She said I only got whenever the freak offs, whenever he felt like she would initiate the freak offs to get his attention. And that's what she said.
Yes.
She said, I would ask for it too, just so I could be with him, just to get his attention. So when
Mhm.
he did start giving her attention, like taking her on the red carpet and stuff, she felt like she was there with him, supposed to be getting the fame, but she started cheating on him. She started cheating with Kid Cudi or whatever his name is. She cheated with him. She started messing with Michael B. Jordan. She didn't mess with three men on Diddy. So what we saying is, no, we're not down with no man hitting no woman. Don't ever think that. No, that ain't what we saying. We saying everybody, everybody has to be accountable for their part in whatever go on with
Mhm.
them. He
Mhm.
did not groom her either, y'all. He did not groom her. Do y'all know she was with a man 10 years?
Her
She was
senior
her senior when she got with Diddy.
at
She met
17
him
years
through
old. She had been with that older man for 2 years.
with that older man for 2 years. She was
And shit,
19 with
y'all
him.
better know. You better know. Listen,
She was with 19 when she got with that older man. He was 10 years her senior. By the time she got with Diddy, by the time she got with Diddy when she
she
was
was ready and right.
21,
She was ready
she,
and right. Trained
she
and ready
already
to go.
knew. She already knew. Diddy said she did things to him. He said, I didn't teach her how to give oral sex. I taught her how to be good at it. It's a
He taught her how.
difference.
But you better say. Y'all better remember Whitney and Bobby. Y'all remember how
Thank
Whitney and Bobby was?
you.
Everybody thought Bobby put her out there to do nothing.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
I
Baby,
remember
he
that.
was already there.
She was already there. She was already doing things and she hipped him to it. Because when by the time she got with him, Diddy was just really coming of into being a mogul. He wasn't brand new on the scene, but he wasn't out there like Andre Harrell and them was still living. And
Mhm.
he worked for them. He
Billy
worked for
McGee
them.
said, "Y'all, come on." She testified that Diddy taught her oral.
Yeah, he said he taught her how to be
Oh,
good.
right. He
It's
helped
a difference.
her. Yeah.
He
Listen.
said she knew what she was doing, but his attorney asked her, so Mr. Combs showed you that he was your first introduction to that. She said, no, he just taught me how to be good at it.
Yeah.
And another thing, he said that she testified that Diddy taught her oral.
Mm-hmm.
This lady went up here with this big old pregnant belly. They can't even see the freak in her. Okay? She
Mm-hmm.
looks like Molly Mae housewife now.
And what they did was they painted that picture because they didn't even want you to think. But this is the deal. How she really left on a bad note, y'all. She went in there trying to back it up the last day. She was trying to go back and make it seem like he's this horrific person. Because her first couple of days on the stand, when I tell you that woman was breaking down and telling how much she loved that man, and she said the reason why she introduced that tape is because he was doing all these things for other with other women. What was she basically saying? He was giving my young Miami right after that revolt interview $300,000 a month to that was her allowance. Cassie sitting there looking like, oh, so I'm your freak of the week, when you was with me, and I'm over here broken struggling. I had to.
And she's not
So
on track.
now,
She's not, but I'm wanting to know why not. Like, if she didn't have anything to do with it, and it was strictly an investigation from the feds.
but they didn't already broke what happened was Friday they showed they did say she signed the NDA. So the lawyer brought out he gave you the money. He gave you $20 million less than 24 hours you asked him for it. You were still communicating with him all the way up to 2023. Okay? Mind you not, but she was still trying to get with him. She was still texting. They were still communicating. The lawyer asked her, why didn't you just tell him that you were, you're on financial problems, you and your husband had to move back from the West Coast to back here, East Coast or wherever they moved back to with her mom. They moved in the house with her mom. Cassie didn't want to show her financials, y'all, because you know why? Diddy did that. He gave her money. He did for her. He bought the mama house. He did all of that when they was together. But see, she ain't tell her husband all this stuff, y'all. She didn't tell her husband none of this. To him, Diddy was a monster. But Diddy hired him to keep her in shape for as, exercise and stuff. So she got up there, the picture he is beating her behind in that yeah, in that hotel. That is what everybody put out there to see. That's what they put it out there for. So you wouldn't see the smoking guns really is all the stuff behind the scenes. She knew she wasn't supposed to release that tape because she got the money from him. Then you turn around and you extorted the hotel. She really was a co-conspirator. That's what the lawyers was gonna get her on. Co-conspirator. Because you agreed to all these things. The security, everybody got up there and testified that she was part of it.
Yeah, but
They
I'm
didn't.
like Vic. I do think her husband knows. I don't doubt that her husband
I
knows.
got a feeling he do too. I think he was in on it. I think he the one shake her down, told her shake
Let me
Diddy
tell
down.
y'all what
Was
this
the money.
story reminds me of. It's an old movie. It used to be one of my favorite movies. It was called Wild Things.
I
Okay.
remember this.
And it was this group of kids, and it was a teacher,
Yeah.
and it was a girl who was like swamp trash, poor, and then it was the upper high class lady girl who had plenty of money. Family had more money than they knew what to do with, and the teacher was sleeping with both girls. No one supposed to have knew about the other one, but the whole time, the two girls knew. They got the money, threw his ass over the boat, and they were good. And then the girl who was the poorest out of them all got her too and walked off with everything. That I think of that movie. This is what this movie reminds me of. It's a real good movie, y'all. It's old, but it reminds me how she moving. That's what it reminds me of. Do you know about that movie, my too?
I used to watch that
Yeah,
movie
that used to be my
all the time.
favorite movie. She pulled her teeth out and everything to act like he had unalived her, and you remember she took some of her own teeth out and everything to
He
make
went
it
to
look like
great
he had
lengths.
unalived her, and it was all a plot with another twist on top of the twist on top of the twist. So
And you're right, and I seen that movie, and that's what it kind of reminded me of, but I didn't know the name of the movie. But I was like, this some
that's my favorite
real
movie,
twisted
honey.
stuff. This some twisted stuff. And this what made me think of it when Nita, you said, Lolita, that lady may have germs and illnesses she still live with. Let me be clear on that one. They brought that out too. And they said they showed where Diddy is the one who would suggest her going to doctor visits and stuff. He would go to tell her, have you made an appointment with your doctor? She's the one who used to say they showed text messages where they communicating. He would tell her they couldn't do anything because she was on her monthly. She would say, I can turn it off.
Yep. And she would sit when if they were on the outs, she would call him and want to be with him sexually while she was having her menstrual. And he would be like, nah, we
Just
ain't
hit me up when you done, when you
when
off.
you done. Yeah,
He
like so
never
this
they proven that it wasn't all him. We seen one isolated incident,
I
but
know
Cassie used to
they're not.
lie to get to
Yeah,
him.
other names have come up, and they're not even trying to investigate the other names that have come up. It's
that's
other.
my
He was the
thing.
star
Like
witness.
you're not the only
She's the star
one.
witness. She's the star witness. She's the only witness that the feds. So they said that's their key witness, and the only reason why she went first is because she is pregnant and she's due any day, and they didn't want to keep her on. Take the chance of where she couldn't do that. But
I,
yeah, that's
I
it.
just
That's
feel
it. Smoking
differently.
gun.
Being that when I was 17 years old, I was groomed. I was groomed, and baby, he taught me. It still pays off for me to today, okay? But
Mhm.
listen, I was very much aware of what was going on.
Mhm.
I was aware. Um, listen, I remember the first time, not our first time being intimate, but I remember one time when we were being intimate and he took all these lines of cocaine and lined them up on my body. He lined them all up and down my body and started snorting them off of me, right? And when he got
Mhm.
to the top, he smacked me in my face, grabbed me up by my neck, and said, I better not never catch you doing this. Man, my feelings was all over the place. I didn't know how to feel. I was like, do I like this? Do I supposed to play along? Am I supposed to be angry? So that's the grooming piece, right? But then when you get to yourself, you're still trying to analyze those thoughts and feelings. Shit. I said, I think I like it. Mind you, me and Cassie got the exact same birthday. Okay. But
Lord
I'm
have
just
mercy.
saying, y'all, the girl wasn't grown. She know what she was doing.
And
She knows.
Vic, I don't know what court papers you looking at, but they said that throughout the whole entire trial all week. Cassie is the star witness. She was the main witness, and they threw Dawn's out
I,
yesterday.
yep. You
They
know what
threw her
though?
whole testimony out.
You know what though? They saying that they're gonna bring Cassie back.
Yeah, she gonna have to
Because
come back.
yeah, because she did not testify against what Dawn witnessed. So they're trying to keep from getting Dawn's thrown out. They don't know if the judge is gonna allow Cassie to come back, but Dawn's testimony at this point is not gonna count.
It's not credible. It's not. It's he told the jury to disregard her whole testimony and not, she. He said disregard the whole witness. Period. He threw it out because she's not credible. Because Cassie, what she was doing was getting up there to verify what Cassie, but they hadn't got their stories together. In other words, she
But
Yeah,
was
y'all
up there
know that
saying
strategy,
different
right?
accounts.
Y'all know
Hmm.
that strategy because I don't care
Yeah,
how much the judge say throw it out. They've
it's in the,
heard it.
they've
They've
heard
heard
it.
they
Yeah,
just said it. They
it.
heard it. You can't
They know the
unsee
judge is going
something.
to throw it out. Miss Lolita, what you laughing at? What I say, Miss
see
Lee? Y'all know I be saying some stuff now. What I say? I have to watch myself because I ain't on my panel. I be saying some stuff. But I agree. There are gonna be many more witnesses, many more testimonies, and I'm just gonna still have a side eye
Yeah.
to them all. It'll just be I'm gonna get my little notepad out on my iPad and be like, this is none, this is
Don't
another,
be
this is
surprised
another,
now. Don't
and I'm
be
gonna be going
surprised.
on about it.
I still
The
stand
ones
by.
that they do they not who y'all think they are because a lot of them are saying they never witnessed that. So it's gonna be surprised. Justin Bieber came out and gave his statement yesterday.
My
And
Yeah.
two
he don't have,
Ali said,
you
do
know,
you think Jazz said, do you think Ali Carter gonna be called to testify?
That
who?
is.
Ali Carter.
Jazz, baby, I don't even know who that is.
You know?
I'm gonna have to look it up. Let me look it up right now.
A trainer.
Um,
An assistant.
I didn't see her. I didn't see their name. Because you know they
she,
have to get the defense and the they have to call the
uh,
witness. They have to give a list.
she's the one that he was allegedly he had adopted allegedly.
Oh, talking about the but she helped do stuff too, but yeah, she is gone.
They say she did. I think if that's the right person, she was the one that during um lockdown with COVID, he introduced her. She was at their house and he introduced her as his adopted white daughter.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I thought she was missing. They hadn't seen her in years.
Oh, she back. She been back on the internet. You talk about the girl with her and her mom, the little white girl.
Yeah, she was a little white girl,
She
but I
back.
don't.
She ain't missing. She ain't missing no more. She come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wonder what all she
Oh,
went
Miss
through.
Lita said, Miss White, when you said, I think I like it, I fell out. I mean, once you get exposed, you take control of your feelings and you make decisions. You make
But
decisions.
this case is built around Cassie. That's what they said in the opening arguments, and the that's what they based it around. They said she is the one who is based around, and it's not about the tape. It's not about any abuse other than those three things that judge told him you got to have definitively. Those three things got to be proven.
Yeah.
Racketeering, sex trafficking. And in sex trafficking, how they try to tie it in is the fact that he flew Cassie to Miami to visit him. Okay. The racketeering come in because he paid the hotel, he paid people to clean up the situation after they didn't had their fun or whatever. If he give them cash money, she's saying that that's under Bad Boy Records because that's where the money coming from under his
Yeah.
under his entity of businesses. So they saying that the hotel was being controlled. I'm just only going by what they explained in court, how they're trying to tie it in as racketeering. That's the racketeering, trafficking. That's it. That's it's centered around her.
And yeah, they
It's not
did. He's
anybody
right.
else.
Vic
That's
is
what they
right. It
said.
was the defense who said that she was important. He's absolutely correct. Or she, I don't know if Vic is a girl or boy, but they're correct. Uh, when they said she was absolutely important. And I think the reason being is because they are showing that he had another side to him that wasn't so monstrous.
Yes. Hmm.
And she's been kind of showing that. I'm sorry. She been kind of showing that. Um, y'all listen, in court, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
That's what they said.
It's not what
That's
you
what they
know,
said.
it's what you can prove. And they are showing that most often he did all this shit with these people was right on with him. Like he won't really holding
They were
nobody out.
complicit.
Mm. It's a lot of stuff that go on. Y'all just heard me say what I was saying about me being groomed at a younger age. So I'm gonna go back to Shar with this thing that's going on with him when he tells this little girl, "When I see you, I'm gonna choke you." You know that, right? So they took that thing and made it something completely different. And I feel like she's utilizing every opportunity that she can to justify why she did what she did when it came to getting that money. What do you think, my two? Where my two went?
Just talking in the mic off. I do that all.
Oh no.
I said I absolutely agree. I said at the beginning of it, I think it was more of a money thing, and she didn't think it was going to end up in a trial.
There you
It,
go.
yeah,
It was a payday, and she didn't realize it was gonna go this far
exactly.
because because and it kind of, the drugs, they were trying to say that he got her on drugs. And but the thing about it is, because they said he used it under an alias, but his defense now, he got the best lawyers you can find. Now I'm gonna tell you that Brian Steele is a mess. He's a whole beast himself. From that's Young Thug lawyer, but he is good. And like he said, how many people use drugs that's famous and use alias? Prince did it. Michael Jackson did it. All of them. They can't go to a pharmacy and pick up their medicine. So people have to go get their medicine. It's nothing against the law for him to use another alias name to keep his medical condition or whatever private. It's never been that. So they not. I'm not being mean, but I ain't rooting for Diddy. I'm not rooting for Diddy in no kind of way, but I am rooting for what's right. Give the man
Yeah,
a fair trial.
a
That's
fair
all I'm
trial,
saying.
exactly. Because he's done enough dirt. He's going down, but
Yes, he gonna go down for some, but
Right. I'm
yeah,
just saying you got to be fair across the
you
board.
gotta
Like
be
people can't
fair.
pick.
Just don't just throw something out there and try to make it stick. I mean, if you're gonna get him where you get him where he can't finagle. I don't care how good the attorney is. He get him. And I would want the same thing if that was my family member or whatever. I want them to get the best trial that they deserve. I don't want somebody to just be able to pick up, and say, well, they did this to me. Okay, if you got him on trial for Cassie in the situation of the hotel, then say that. But they said that's not it. That's not what they got him out there for. He don't have not one charge for hitting her. Not one.
nope.
So, so you have to look at, if you're gonna be fair, well, where's all this coming in? Cassie took the money. So Cassie really is a co-conspirator, y'all. She milked him out, she extorted him for $20 million. He paid her, plus gave her a lifestyle that she wasn't ready to give up. But she should have thought about that before she got with the trainer who can afford the lifestyle that she was, accustomed to with Diddy. Cassie was already living in Manhattan in a condo, paid for everything when she met Diddy, y'all. Where you think she got that money from? She had already been over there with other rich men. They
Yeah,
proved that.
we're aware that it's not. I think you might be missing what we're saying, Big. We know it's not a DB case. Listen. I know exactly what kind of case it is.
Mm-hmm.
Think that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I also know that it's going to be more people to testify, but I really won't think it a whole bunch into this. But I'm gonna tell you what changed my mind when Miss Nicole, what's her name, Nicole Westmoreland, when she joined Diddy's team. I said, "Oh my God, get out!" It's got to be something somewhere that we don't know. And a lot of times, we have our public opinion on social media where we want to destroy people based off what we think we know or what we don't know. But I really started paying more attention when she took the case. One, this video was out of him brutally assaulting her the way he did, and in the hotel. We all saw it. So I said, so why would Nicole take this case? That's what caught my attention because if y'all know her story, she sued these industry people before. She was at a
Yes, she
party
did.
at a music recording studio. It was long before she got to where she is now.
Mm-hmm.
And she went through some stuff and she sued, baby. She sued from the rooter to the tutor, baby.
And she the best. She one of the best.
She is good God Almighty. And what I'm saying is she is an attorney, but she has a driving force from what happened to her before. You got to look her
She
up.
does.
You got to know
She
something
does.
about her. And then I heard TMZ talking about her, and they was like, "Uh-oh, she knows something that we don't know," because they said she wouldn't have took this case.
She see light at the end of the tunnel. They said that she can recognize when something is not right, and she don't take cases unless she's 100% sure that she can't win. If she feel like she can't win and help you, she ain't taking it. And they
Yeah, I
said
heard
she
that too
took
about
this.
her.
Yeah, she don't take cases unless she can win them. And it's not about just winning. It's about being right.
They say
It's
she's a
about,
very shrewd attorney.
yeah.
Yeah, she
So,
sued. What was it? Cash Money,
yeah.
Cash Money
And,
Entertainment. Yeah,
and
baby.
don't forget that. Don't forget, she was one of the lead. She was one of the federal attorneys that was on that brought down the cartel too.
Yeah.
So you got to look at who these lawyers not they're not sitting there just because he's paying them. They're not sitting there. They see something, and the stuff that they was bringing out. I don't think those women on the prosecution side saw it coming. I'm gonna be honest with you. Those text messages, y'all, it made Cassie look real bad because she had the whole day. It was a whole 2 days. It was a pity pot for her. But when they got up there, when Nicole got up there, baby, she was so nice, and she was I like the way she come in. She was very compassionate. She was very complimentary. She told her how pretty she was, everything. She eased right on into it and went to working on all those lies. It was really good. It was really good to actually hear how she moved because she moved smooth, real smooth. But it's not about she the one said it's not about no abuse. It's not about abuse. They got to prove this. Her arguments with her opening arguments. You got to prove these three things consecutively. You got to prove them.
Mhm.
So we just gonna see at the end of the day. We're gonna see at the end of the day because I don't know. I don't know, but I just don't think that I think
Now,
it's gonna be some people at the table with him or across
do
from
I
him.
think
However you
he's
want to
going
put
to
it.
get off? Absolutely not. But I don't think he's going to be found guilty of all those charges, and it may be some lesser charges that he get convicted of.
And you know what? You're right, Neil. It is a 98%. And you know what? Hands down, I'm all about the feds now. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm all about the feds, but the feds can be wrong. Well, if they doing it for their own personal reasons, because they feel like, one person feel like this way or whatever. But let me tell you, you have to see how they line people up and put them in place. It's kind of funny, but the feds are 98%. But we got a whole president sitting up there, the president of the United States with 38 indictments
That we know that he
that we
know
know
that
and
he
was
did.
proven that he did.
That we
So you can
know
put that
that we
one,
know
take
he
that
did.
98 off because they missed it. They dropped the ball when it came to our good old president sitting up there. They dropped it.
Mhm.
And that was a case, I mean, they could have won and put it to 100% right, but they didn't. No, you cannot arrest a sitting president, but you sure as hell could have got him before he got back in office. He shouldn't have been allowed to go
Well,
back
what
in
if we
office.
didn't impeach him? Oh, damn, boom.
People, oh, let's not talk about the Cheeto in charge.
So I'm all about him now. I'm for what's right. I'm for what's right, but I'm on this. This is my stance on it. Diddy, yes, he need to get everything he ever did and more. And everybody else that do something wrong or do something that's not right by the law, yes, we all need to pay for it. But give me the right sentence that goes with the crime. This is state level, y'all. This is state level. It's not no federal. It's not. It's state. Give it, knock it back down to state. But you wanna go feds, but you let a lot of people walk in the Epstein case. You got that woman sitting over there 25 years for co-conspirator. Elon Maxwell, same thing Cassie is. She was complicit and she is the same thing that Elon Maxwell is. How you let Cassie walk away?
Yeah.
Elon was the one who used to set these girls up with all the president that's sitting in office right now. Okay? The president, he was in that scandal.
Ace Man, you're right.
Prince
I'm
Charles,
sorry. Ace Man is
brother.
fine because when they say 98%, that's because most people take a plea deal and go on and do
Yes.
it never sees trial. They got like a 4%, I think, maybe 4% of the cases that
You're right, Lolita.
Not even 4%. I'm sorry, it's smaller than that. It might be a fraction of a percent or something. Anyway, a lot of them don't ever see it. They don't see court because when the feds come, they know they got them. They know what they know that they know, and they just go ahead and fess up, take the lesser plea, or whatever.
They plea out, and see, they offered him one. They offered him a plea before this even came up, so they didn't know something to be able to sit there and say, "No, I ain't taking no plea. I want to clear my name."
I don't know if any truth to it, but they were saying that if he would have taken the plea, the plea that they gave him, he was going to die in prison.
They was going to give him life.
And that 98% is only like maybe 89 now. It has changed. It's like S-Man said, it's changed because it's just so much now.
And we have to look at the back end because a lot of people didn't know Diddy and with the calling out Ciroc. Okay. And that's a big company. That's a big multi-billionaire company. And he was at odds with them. They was paying Diddy $60 million, $60 to $80 million a year for being the face of Ciroc. He didn't made them a lot of money. But he said, with time I get ready to step out and do my own thing, you all wouldn't support me. Y'all supported George Clooney with Casamigos, and I had DeLeon over here. All I was asking for is that you all support me. So it come down to, he said, it come down to a white and black situation. Y'all rather support the white man than to support me, and I'm the one who made y'all all this money.
Well, it's a thing that they say that just like with Bill Cosby, that they say that they always knew what Bill Cosby was doing, just like they said they always knew what Diddy was doing, but when they go up and start ruffling feathers, then they get them somewhere to sit them down. And my thing is, again, like I handle my kids, don't wait till you mad to come trying to tell something. I just don't think that's right. If he did all those,
I don't think that's right either. I think that's just as wrong as two left shoes. You want to bring me down and spank me and tell me to sit down and mind my business.
That's what empowers them. That's what gets them to a position and a level of thinking that they're invincible because of people turning blind eyes. Hence this cycle that we've been in. People just looking away, acting like they don't see something or don't know something because they don't like somebody. You get what I'm saying? And that's wrong. And that empowers those people, make them bigger, stronger, richer, faster. Bigger, stronger, richer, faster. Bigger, stronger, richer, faster, faster, bigger, stronger, faster. That's how it goes. Because everybody looking away. And then, when they cross you or you think they getting above themselves.
You're right. You're right. You just as right as you can be.
Then you're gonna sit them back down somewhere.
And
Vic
Vic, you're
said,
right.
yeah, Vic said maybe he should not have been. Maybe he should not have been doing it. If we knew Diddy was doing this, everybody knew.
That's my point. Like, how did you not know?
But they covered. They covered because he was making their money. He was making their money. So we gonna hold all your indiscretions in the dark and use them to when we need them. You see, it didn't bother them. It didn't
Let me
bother
put this
them
in my
that he
back
was out
pocket
here
right
doing it.
here, boy. Let me put this in my back pocket,
Yes,
boy.
for when you do get out of hand, and then I'm gonna throw it out there because
Yeah,
you
I'm
get
still,
it. So
know,
you have to look at the back end sometime and don't just focus on what they putting in front of you. Think about who's behind it. See, and I feel like he said, he went his last interview, he said he went to Mexico. He went over there for his to look at the agape for his alcohol. He said he go over there and the things that they use to make the tequila, that big old thing, he said he looked, Casamigos got fields and fields of it. They promoting them. They really put in the work for them. For George Clooney, Casamigos. He said, but he look over there, he don't even have none. All this money that was supposed to be going into his brand, De Leon, they wasn't putting it in there. So when he called them out on it and met with them about it, they got a little tiff going between the two of them. So just like Miss White said, they knew. They knew what Diddy was doing. They was a part of it. They was part of the problem because they would cover and do whatever. Diddy got stuff on them, they got stuff on Diddy. That's how people do, they get when you go up higher, higher, higher. So when you decide to get wrong, let me pull this out and remind you who really is in charge. We're gonna teach you a lesson. And the lesson is you're gonna fight. You're finna fight for your freedom now. I bet you won't pull that suit up again now. I bet you that he'll think twice now before he go in there and do anything, you know. So he may walk and he may not. But at the end of the day, it's the powers of B who is really behind it. Cassie was just used. She was just used. And that was her payout, $30 million for doing it. Because she is a co-conspirator. Because Cassie, anything, should have been nervous. Because I'd be scared that I'd be sitting in jail just like Elon Maxwell. She's sitting over there 25 years.
That's what I that's what I'm talking about, Ace Man. How was it racketeering if she was in a relationship with Diddy or even S Traffic? How? And they were in a relationship.
And that's what they basically proven. The defense is proving
Yeah.
that.
She said herself she was in love with him. She said herself that
He was charming.
yeah,
She really loved him. And you could tell by the text that they did display some caring and loving. They had some good times in there. 10 years, 11 years, you with this man and you still talking to him after you married. You love that man.
yeah.
So I feel like if somebody put a battery in her bag and told her, we can get you some money, but you got to do this for us. It's business. And she knew she didn't have no relationship with him. She wasn't going to never be with him. He wasn't going to never make her. The text that he sent don't equate what they're saying, y'all. I was caught off guard. I was looking for him to be a monster on them texts. When I
Yeah.
tell y'all, Diddy sent some nice texts to her. I mean, even after she was married, he wished her well. He even told her, if you ever need me, I'm here. So I think he was blindsided seeing this come.
Yeah. Well,
He actually cared for her. He really did. And he said, I love you. I don't want to see nothing bad ever happen to you. He said, you take care of yourself and you're going to be an amazing mother.
we'll just see how all this pans out. But the first week, a lot came out, and I honestly think that a lot came out that the prosecution did not want to come out.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I don't think they expected him to fight back. And I don't think they thought he was gonna fight back as hard as he's fighting. I really don't. And like I said, if he go, I'm on 10 toes down for him going to jail for doing what he did, but make sure you prove and make the crime and the time fit equals the same thing. And that's for anybody. I want to see anybody, yeah, that was about the Kid Cudi thing, but Kid Cudi said it wasn't him. Cassie said, no, he said he was in the text. She said he said he was. That's what they going by. He said he was going to blow his car up because he was mad when he found out about him. See, a lot of stuff we really don't know. We don't really know. And I didn't know. I've always said it too. It's not Cassie. It's not Cassie. But those text messages, y'all, that she would send him, I'm grown. If y'all heard them text messages, they are so, oh my God. Dawn was supposed to, those text messages, she got a little nasty, freaky mind. Now, Cassie is nasty. And I'm just gonna put it out there. She nasty. The stuff she was sending him is nasty. The children were sitting in there. I was so ashamed. Dawn wasn't a victim. She was supposed to be collaborating with Cassie said. And that's what got her testimony thrown out because it wasn't nothing that Dawn said matched what Cassie said. That's what the judge said.
How he kidnapped her?
Kidnapping is they come out held her against her will, but she proved that he didn't. She said he didn't. She said she would the text messages. She told him to come to her house.
Oh, he said that Dawn is a victim of kidnapping.
That she didn't say that. Dawn got up there talking about cooking eggs in the frying pan, and he threw the frying pan. That was it.
Hey, Kimberly.
But what's the name is reading the Miss White, you have the transcript, don't you? I don't know where Miss White gone, y'all. But Harmony and everybody, we was talking about it last night on D-Ham thing. They got certain one reading the transcripts, and the transcript it didn't. The defense and the judge met. The defense, the judge, and the prosecution all agreed to throw Don's whole testimony out. Allegedly, no, it ain't allegedly with that one. It was he threw it out. The judge threw it out.
Yep.
I'm here, guys. I'm sorry, my daughter was speaking to me. I want to comment. Vic said Dawn would testify that she was held in an automobile for hours. Her dad had to come and get her. Should she have been held in an automobile for hours? Absolutely not. I completely disagree with that. But the fact that y'all making this man be so monstrous with so much power, this, that, and the third, what was her daddy gonna do to Diddy?
And why would she have called her dad on Diddy if he was this monster?
Right. If he was this, like, what was her daddy gonna do to Diddy? That don't make sense.
Well, I want to know.
We have to be smart, y'all. We can't just think with our feelings. Is he right? No, he's not right. But we cannot use our emotional wherewithal to just bear down into our feelings. You got to be able to separate. God only supposed to separate the wheat from the tare, but we can make sense out of stuff. We can make sense because some stuff just don't make sense.
And street gossip versus court is totally different. In court, you have to have the facts.
When Don testified that, they're gonna say just what Miss White just said.
They already said it and threw it out. They threw out everything she said.
Also known as P. Diddy, the man that we're painting out to be this great monster with no regard to life, no respect for no one, who was very powerful, did what he wanted, when he wanted, how he wanted. You sent your dad? Do you love your dad? Do you care about your dad? Was you worried about what was going to happen to your dad?
If he's such a monster, yeah, I'd be worried.
Think about what y'all. Okay, I ain't sending my daddy. I'm gonna take that butt whooping. Okay, I love my daddy. I'm not sending my daddy.
Thank
I'm
you.
not. My ex that I just spoke on used to whoop my tail black and blue. And when they told my dad, I denied it, okay? But my dad wasn't dumb. They was at a juke joint, barber's place. I'll never forget it. They said he sent my dad a picture of beer across the table. My dad sent it back. My dad sent it back. So they said that we called my ex Pee Wee. He said, send it back over there again. Send it back over there again. And they said that my dad got up and was like, one more time, and I'm going to your ASS. And the hard thing for me was, I'm dating this guy over here who's a drug dealer, beating my tail, da 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 da. But my dad was known for a bad ASS too. So I had a conflict there, you know. And somebody stepped in and got his attention to do something else because they knew what was going down. But I didn't send my daddy. Hell no. I was like, oh, daddy, that ain't true. Who said that? He don't treat me like that, daddy. I'm special. He don't do me like that. Not me, daddy. Lying through my dang on teeth. Child boo.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to you wouldn't put your loved one in harm's way if he's that much of a tyrant. Why would you go and tell your daddy, your uncle, your son, your brother, anybody to get them unalive? You know? So if he was that bad. But this is also something I look at too. It's a lot of people standing outside that courthouse in favor of Diddy for the things that he's done in New York. Diddy has done some great things, y'all. You know, sometimes the good outweigh the bad too. You know, it's all hearsay on a lot of stuff because I'm like this. If he was that bad, why it took y'all this long to say something? And one person, the main people that who are filthy rich because of who? Diddy. Hadn't said a word. It's not that they're afraid of him. Believe you me, it's people will step behind Usher. It'll be people step behind Jodeci. It'll be people step behind Mary J. Blige. These people are filthy rich sitting up here. He made them. He made them. So it's not, you know, he said, Cassie, he felt like he should jump and give her that money because she deserved it. You know why? Because Cassie couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, okay? So
Did
if
he
Diddy,
give the key to the city?
they gave him the key to the city because he owned half of New York.
Yeah,
Yeah. But typically when they give you a key to the city, because I know of rich people
You
who
do a
don't
lot
have
of
a
nice
key to the city.
things.
I
He
know
does
of
a lot.
people with money, that don't have a key to the city. But
Mhm.
when they do a public service charity, I've seen them feeding the homeless and giving out turkey. My
He
two
did
me
a lot of stuff.
but I've seen them doing stuff like that too.
And Howard, he actually went to Howard. He actually has I mean, if this man just sitting around doing all these bad things, when did he is a billionaire? You ain't nobody just gave him that money. Okay. Biggie been gone, y'all. So he couldn't have just made money simply just sitting there doing, he ain't make no money off Biggie being dead. He wanted Biggie alive, trust me, because Biggie was one of his biggest. That was his money maker. He wanted Biggie alive. He wanted all of that. What I'm saying is sometimes, like Miss White said, you have to use common sense. You have to say, you know what, just stick to the facts and let's don't, let our
Yeah,
feelings and stuff
you
get in
have
the
to stick
middle.
to facts.
Just
Because
think,
listen,
just think
the man
about the
was a
facts.
millionaire.
Yeah, a
He was
lot
a
of
millionaire,
mistakes.
and it did not all come from music. Okay,
Okay,
it did
so
not
He got
all
real
come from
estate.
music. I'm from
Tony
little
Brown
old Lumberton, little old Lumberton. Shout out to my hometown.
Tony
That's where
Brown
I'm
said
from.
that they took the key back,
They did, yeah.
and he
They
said that
Yeah, they took the key back.
he said they didn't do anything from for them in Harlem. He didn't do anything for them. Sylvia Davis, what did you say? I am new and listening. I married my husband at 21, and he was 40. Loved me, and he was a good husband.
Because you're right, Sylvia, everybody not grown. Like, I mean, they groom you, but it's even trading no swap, no swindles. You getting something just like they are. That's how I do it, y'all. Everybody else may have a different opinion. You can call me what you want. Oh well. I saw somebody in the chat earlier say people been selling their poom poom forever. Um, you look at it how you want to look
It's
at it.
illegal overseas.
Yeah, it's man and wife being married for years. Mama gonna fry up them dang on fish. She gonna cook them grits. She gonna have that house clean. Ain't got to work and do a dang on thing. And daddy gonna make sure she got what she need to, and a little something on the side. I mean, that's just how it goes. But I was saying Diddy didn't just make his money from music. Where I'm from, um, my first encounter was Diddy. You know, if y'all follow me, y'all know that I came out of a I don't want. I came from a fast life, okay, and it was a guy who moved from New York. He opened up a Club 95. If y'all know anything about it, put a one in the chat. But they call him Chubb. He opened up Club 95, okay. His financier was P Diddy. His financier was P Diddy. P Diddy brought Biggie and Junior Mafia there when they were small names, like they were just getting off. It was Little Kim,
Mm-hmm.
Junior Mafia, and Biggie. A big fight broke off in the club. There's a girl, her name was Tamika Blue. She smacked Little Kim in the mouth. Biggie got pushed, and somebody, they got their ass beat. Okay, that's in a nutshell. And I'm saying that to say, like, this man had an empire before he had an empire. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes
He did.
He had an empire before he had an empire. And I'm from a very small little town, but it is the exact halfway point exactly from Miami, Florida to New York. And you can figure out the rest. Okay? So I'm saying Diddy being out here, he was on his way. If he didn't do music, the man was still gonna have something.
That's what I said. He had that drive, and it wasn't a bad drive. It's the drive to determine to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And now Sean John made a lot of money too.
He did.
He's not a millionaire. He's a billionaire. He built his from the ground up. Okay, so he didn't have to do. I mean, we didn't see some real low down folks. I mean, they got old boy in jail right now that just went a couple of months ago. The check-in man out there in L.A. I mean, he moved. He didn't put bodies down and everything. But what I'm saying is, it was all for his own selfish gain. Nobody made money off Big U. Nobody. Nobody became millionaires off Big U. A lot of these people owe Diddy their fame and their fortune because he put money into them. And as long as they out here touring and everything, guess what, y'all? Bad Boy's still making money. And he's sitting up in there for 10 months. But he's still making money. Because he got all these people under him. They still under Bad Boy. And he furnished these concerts. He knew how to go and get it. Hey, you know what? I ain't finna run around here and be the manager. I'm gonna own the label. He thinks big. You can't convict him for being a person of ambition. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he has. That's his thing. When he wants something, he gonna go for it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Don't mean it's right. Don't mean it's right. But you got to know. You got to know the drive of people like that. They don't. They don't stop. Hey, damn, he made a song. No, won't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. Look, he meant that.
He meant that by his work ethics.
And they
Yeah,
say Diddy is a damn good producer. He is a damn good producer. And you can look at, you know it because of the music. And you're right, Lisa, that's what it was. Andre owned Uptown. Diddy worked for him. He was his assistant. He come in like in the mail room, y'all. He worked his way all the way up. People said the man had a heart attack. They said that Diddy made him have a heart attack. Come on now. He got power, but he ain't got that type of power. None. Same thing they said about Jay-Z. Same thing. These just, I'm proud for their accomplishments in being young black men who got it out the mud. I'm not one to just say just take them all out. Yeah, I'm with you, Ross. If R. Kelly, if they, R. Kelly can be proven that he didn't do the things he did, he need to be free too. He need to be
Well,
free
that's a
too.
whole other thing because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what R. Kelly did was right, but how do you just hand your children off? Diddy went through those trials, what, late 90s? I mean, not Diddy, R. Kelly, late 90s, early 2000s. So everybody knew, and even if he was found not guilty, you knew what surrounded him, and you still entrusted your child? Man, please.
But you know what? I can say this big. I'm not going by Cassie because they found too many holes in her story. Yes, I seen that one isolated incident. Should he go to jail for life for that one isolated incident? No, no. I'm wholeheartedly saying no. I don't think nobody should. That's just like saying if you didn't pay your child support, we're gonna put you in jail for life. That the punishment don't fit the crime.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the crime. I said I want to see him get what he deserved at the level he deserved it. That does
There you
not.
go.
That's
There you
it.
go. It was a lot of toxicity in that situationship that they had. There was a lot of toxicity, and
But a lot more is not on the docket. Big.
she
A
would
lot more.
she would fight him. She would jump on him. She would jump on him. Listen, I'm not
He
hitting my
said it.
husband. My husband don't beat on me, but I'm not hitting my husband because I understand the damage that he would be able to do to me if he decided to hit back. So if you don't want to be hit, don't hit.
That's right.
Don't do it. The man's strong. I watch him bench press. Even at his good old age, he's still good and strong. I'm not gonna hit him. Make me mad as hell sometimes.
You will never be able to beat a man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hit him. So I don't want to be hit back.
And if you
So
got sons and daughters, that should be the first thing. If you don't want to get hit back, don't never hit nobody. You won't put yourself in that situation. And that's all I'm saying. The man said she had been throwing that the person that was sitting in the room said she was throwing everything. She had tore up the room.
girl,
So
let
by
me
the
tell you
time
something.
she left,
My kids, I have a son that's a principal. I have one that's an engineer. He builds private jets for Honda. Like they all four boys do good for themselves. Um, I kind of wish that I would have taught them if I knew that the world was going to turn to the angle that it is now. I wish I would have been teaching them if a girl hits you, you hit them back. But I used to say if a girl hits you, you go get your sisters. I never thought about the day that all my kids were going to grow up and move off, into their own separate places and cities, towns, and states. And the sister wasn't going to be readily available because these boys get traumatized. They go through trauma from a woman just hitting on them.
ooh, Lord, yes, they do. You know how many men get abused and walk around with that and don't never tell nobody? It messes with them psychologically. Because they couldn't, they was taught not to hit back, and they doing the right thing. And the woman to go and do some mess like this right here and paint them out, ruin their whole entire life, and they took them licks. I'm not saying that's what happened to Diddy, but there is people who are like that. There are men who are like that.
It is, but it does damage, And now my grandkids, I tell them, y'all don't forget these women fought for equal rights. So when we was teaching boys don't hit a woman, Please don't take what I'm saying the wrong way. Um,
You
when
don't know that, Vic. You
we
you
used to say don't hit a woman,
hit every day.
walk away, and you still should try to do that at all costs, right? But when they get to that point where they just unruly and you can't control them, I say that's the part where you got to remember where they did fight for equal rights. Because we women aren't being women anymore like we used to be. We want to be the mama, the daddy, the granddad. We want to do it all. We want to do it all now. So, but that's a whole nother thing.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I would rather have, and I said that on D Ham's panel last night, and I'm gonna always say it. I'm gonna always be that person. You got to prove it. You can't go in court with hearsay. You can't go in court with gossip. You can't go in court with rumors. And Diddy is not on trial for abuse, y'all. That is what you missing.
Yeah, Vic says, "Dang y'all, what is up? Diddy beats a person every day, but we focus on the few times a drugged up girlfriend that's 115 pounds dripping wet hits. Come on." And all I'm gonna say is she know what she weigh when she hit him. You know you're 115 pounds. Sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah,
Please.
that's it. You can't go off your emotions or what you think or what you heard. You got to go off what you know to be true.
Because
Because
men are not made out of what they used to be made out of anymore. Emotionally, they are damaged. I saw somebody put in the chat that his mom messed him up.
Lisa,
Like,
and like Lisa said, you can't take away his accolades for what he has done for the community. You know,
yeah,
you can't take that away from him. I don't care how much you hear something in the street. If you wasn't with him every day, you cannot say definitively that he done the things that you are hearing. Because it's a lot of jealous hearted men and women in this world, and they'll do anything to take their own people down. They
yeah.
will.
'Cause the men got emotions, and they hand don't tell they a brain to hit. The brain tells the hand to hit.
Reflex.
We'll catch up with that in a minute. Vic said we are still being women. Stop there. I beg to differ. We have some women who are still being women, but baby, we ain't moving like we used to move.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Nothing pisses me off more when Father's Day come and you got all these women up and down social media talking about I'm giving thanks and honor to myself because I'm the pappy. What?
Well, you don't get mad when they let you be that too.
No, you're not, baby. That just means that
The
you're a
only
single
thing I
mother
was
having to do it all. You're
speaking
not
on
married.
this live was the testimony from last week. I'm not talking about the rest of the trial because we don't know what's going to come. I'm talking about what they've presented so far, and it's still my opinion. And I know, like I said, it's not popular, but it's still my opinion that she's not a victim. She knew exactly what she was getting into, and she stayed there. And if that's what they're resting their evidence on, that's more of an abuse thing than anything else. And the case is not about abuse.
And that's a state level. Domestic violence is a state level. Abuse is at a state level. Why would you take it all the way? You can't. If you can't, you saying the racketeering is about the hotel. They explain that. Okay, well, she the one got paid from the hotel
Yeah, but
this,
everything
this,
else
this
that
week.
comes later, I'll talk about that later. But as for what we've seen this first week, she, I just don't think she was a victim because she had plenty of chances to get away. And when she finally did leave, she was running back. So I don't think that's a victimhood. Those were choices that she made. That was by choice that she did the things she did. She was a willing participant, and like she said, she initiated some of them. So I just don't see her as a victim as a lot of other people do because she was willing to do that as a grown woman, not a child. And
And
all
I,
of
I keep
that
I keep
because
telling everybody, go over there and look at the Apple, pull up the Apple Company Finch Cassie is named in there as a recruiter.
Yeah.
So she
And
might need
all of
that
that,
$30 million to get out of that.
and she
You see what
did
I'm
all
saying?
of that because she said he had her career in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I would not have wanted a career that bad that I would have participated in no mess like that.
Ace Johnson, I agree. That's what it is. It's a state level. It's not no, I don't want to see no, don't put that man away for life over something that you know is a state level just because you in your feelings because he pissed the right one off, you know.
Which
He-
situation are you speaking of, Vic? About she tried to get away, but he sent several people after her and dragged her.
Yeah, she said that ain't even true. She admitted she went to him.
Yeah, because I even watched when I watched that whole 15-minute clip of the hotel incident. Chad was so many times she could have just took her tail on down them steps.
And she turned around and went back.
Mm-mm. And
What I
what was the end
think
result of
is
that
that
night? What was the end result of that night?
They laughed about it the next day, and he told her.
Yeah.
They showed the text messages where she said she called, she texted him and asked him could she see him the next day, and he said I don't know because you was off the chain last night, and she said yeah, and you was acting crazy too, but without that, can we do it again? That's the next day.
yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I don't think that testimony was as cut and dry as they thought it was gonna be because it left a lot of doubt. It left a lot of doubt.
Yeah, for her
Yeah,
to be
because
a witness.
you know, the money plays a factor because it now what it looked like is you extorting him.
Exactly.
You got the money from two different places that you saying that is racketeering, and you saying he's sex trafficking, and she actually told y'all this is what she said. She when she first got with Diddy, she wanted to be with him so bad.
She wanted to have a
She wanted
child.
to have a freak off with him. She the one introduced him about the freak offs, bringing another man into the room, and stuff. Okay. She said when she was with what is that Leslie guy, when she first met him, she said she lied to him to be able to go see Diddy. She said at first he wasn't, he act like he wasn't really into her, but she couldn't get him off her mind. She said the first time she kissed him was in Miami when she lied and made a flyer and gave it to Ryan Leslie and told him that she was going to do a show at a club down there. And that's why she had to leave. But she really wasn't going to do one. She was going to go down there to lay up with Diddy and do a freak off with him. That was the first time she introduced him into a male. She knew the people down there. And
Okay,
she brought in a guy.
heard on the trial that she said the first time he kissed her was actually in Las Vegas at a VMA award after the VMA
Yes.
award, and that he
Mm-hmm.
kissed her, and so she started crying. She was 21 years old. It was her 21st birthday. She started crying. Then she said that after the fact, she started going to his house, his Manhattan Trump Tower apartment, penthouse apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and she started hanging out with him because she liked his energy, she just liked him.
She
She
said he was
started,
bigger than life.
yeah. And with that being said, okay, if he kissed you with unwanted, why would you after the fact, and it to the point where it made you cry, why would you just go start going to his house and hanging out with him if you didn't like the kiss?
And y'all broke up in what? 17, 17, 16? Supposed to be you said that I was supposed to be broke up. You talked to this man all the way up to 2023 and you were married.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she came out with that for money, right? And she never expected a case to build off of that lawsuit. That's what I think. I think it was a money thing. She never thought the feds would get involved and a case would be built around it. And we're here because of greed.
And she said when they asked her about the money, the attorney, the prosecution asked her about the money situation, about her asking for the money. She said, "You wasn't paid to be here, were you?" She said, "No." She said, she said, "So you did, you put in a lawsuit, civil suit for, you threatened him with a civil suit to get money from him." She said, "And you got the money within 24 hours. So how did did we contact you or whatever?" The feds was trying to cover their tracks then. She said, "I'm here because of you all picked it up. I didn't release no tape to anyone." She let them know, "Y'all released that tape. I didn't. I got my money. And I was going to get my money from that hotel." But she didn't mention nothing about the hotel in the beginning. Prosecution didn't either. The defense broke that wall down at the last day. The last day they told her, "Didn't you charges? And didn't you drop a suit on the hotel after Mr. Combs had already paid them $50,000 for that tape for your protection? Did he not?" And she said, "Yeah, he paid for it because I was afraid of my career, losing my career and it getting out. I didn't want nobody to see it."
Thank you, Aceman. He said Cassie had a choice from the very beginning of this so-called relationship. The lifestyle and the money was the factor in her choice to tolerate the whatever she had, we can't really say it on the panel she endured. Exactly.
It's exactly what it is. She was gonna hang right on in there, and she said they both would, when they coming off they high, they would get very volatile.
I am a woman, and I hate that she endured that, but you cannot. It was her choice. That's what they're women are getting all emotional, but it was her choice to do that. The police were there. She could have gone to the police if it was that bad. She could have gone to the media. She could have done something other than partake in it.
No, they didn't. That's not the reason why they did it. They said why they did it.
She partook in that because it was beneficial for her. Witness protection also, yeah.
They paid her that $10 million the hotel did because the company is a big, huge company that now owns the hotel, and they didn't want their name. They didn't want their name out there as in, she really, I'm gonna just put it out there. She told them that if they did, she was gonna drop the name of who owned it. And they just settled last week on it, and she got the money while she was sitting in court. They said that, and they proved it, and they asked her right there on the stand, and she said yes. And they said, "Well, you don't see nothing wrong with that?" And she couldn't answer because she extorted both. She really did double indemnity. That's what she did. She got money for the same thing from both parties that he had already paid for.
I don't think their husband's innocent. I think they concocted that one together. He knew what she had endured because he was a part of the circle too. He was Diddy's trainer.
He was her trainer. He hired him. Him and Diddy never had a relationship. That he hired him strictly for her.
Let me go back to my notes.
Diddy, they said that in court that she said that he hired him to train because she got mad because Diddy got a yoga trainer. It's not public. It's not public. That hotel was sold after that incident. It was sold. So now it's a large company on it, and they didn't want their name out, but in court it came out. That's why they paid her that $10 million. I think her lawyers is the one who did it all. I really do. They saw a payday.
Vic, Aceman said Vic McGee did settle to pay 20 million because he wanted to protect his brand and reputation. This is
He
not
said that.
a guilt for racketeering and S trafficking.
He said it. Mm-hmm. And now that lawyer looking crazy because he got the answer for this. Because the Fed's gonna turn around and they looking at you because you knew you didn't tell them that you was getting that money, that $10 million. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Didn't nobody know that until Brian Steele and them come with it. She did not tell the prosecution that. You could look at them and basically they said they was shocked.
How did that work for him? Vic said, how did that work for him?
Mm-hmm. That's I think something gonna come of that. Because that's not a good look. You got us sitting up in here like you a damsel in distress.
Yeah. So y'all fit to get ready to end the live. I enjoyed the dialect. I enjoyed the
How did it work for him?
Yeah. I enjoyed the conversation. To the new people that came in, welcome. I've never seen you all in any chats before, but I enjoyed the dialogue. And hopefully this won't be y'all last time joining. And y'all have a good night and thank you for joining us. Let me wait. Let me thank you all. TT, thank you for the super sticker. Tabby, thank you for the super sticker. Tabby, thank you for the super sticker. Shanta, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate all of you all. And you all, and Amber, thank you for the super sticker. You all have a good night. Miss White, I'm gonna call you on the back end, dear.
Don't be calling me on the back end, girl. You know, I don't do the back end no more because I got in too much trouble, chill.
Well, it wasn't with me.
I'm just teasing.
All right, y'all. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.